Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we are going to have an explosive show for you guys. But before we get into that, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this is going to be an interesting show. First of all, let me tell you guys why we're actually producing this show. This particular topic is a request that we've been getting for months now. All right, we even got a request just yesterday on Instagram where people are saying, "Can you please do a comparison between LeBron James and Kobe Bryant?" We get all the messages. Like, people ask us, "Can you please do a comparison? Can you please do a comparison?" So, given the fact that we produced the show yesterday that I believe a lot of people enjoyed, some people didn't enjoy it so much, but they still, made their opinions known, which is totally fine. We don't stop people from speaking their piece. I said, okay, why not produce something like this today, and let's have some fun with this particular show here today. So that's essentially the reason we're producing this show. So it took me some time to kind of, gather some of this information. But actually, before producing this show, I actually put up two polls. Right? I put up two polls on our channel. The first poll said, this was just about an hour ago, if Kobe and LeBron were teammates in their primes, who would lead who? Of the 2,200 people that voted in the first hour, 89% is voted for Kobe, 11% voted for LeBron. In the second poll that we posted, which is the more controversial poll, in the same hour, because I post them literally back to back, 5,800 people have voted. And this poll has generated already 305 comments as we're producing the show. By the time you see it, it's going to have thousands of, maybe up to 8, 9, 10,000 votes. 68% of the people that have voted, 68% of the people voted for Kobe Bryant as the better player, and 32% voted for LeBron James. Now, here's a few things worth saying. Some people will say, well, of course the numbers are going to be skewed that direction because this is a LeBron James hate channel and you're a Kobe Bryant fan. So obviously that's what it's going to be. That's an understandable viewpoint to take. However, a few weeks ago, or dare I say over a month ago, we put up a poll on this very same channel, right? And in this poll, we asked the question, and the question was very simple. I said, which of these players had the better career? That's the poll we put up. Now, this is a Kobe Bryant leaning channel, according to what these people are saying. In that poll, we posted it 3 weeks ago. The poll featured 4 people: Tim Duncan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. That particular poll generated 1,000 comments and 37,000 votes. Out of the 37,000 people that voted, 3% voted for Shaq, 23% voted for Tim Duncan, 36% voted for Kobe Bryant, and 38% voted for LeBron James on the same channel. So how do you explain that? How did I do it? How did I vote 37,000 times and spread it all over the place like that? No. People voted. And I think that people are giving their opinion on what they think there. It's just the case. So I decided to do some research, and I wanted to look at this thing because, there are a lot of people that kind of throw out a lot of platitudes about this debate that, oh, LeBron is better than Kobe did this. So I said, okay, let's look at it in a myriad of ways. Let's look at offense and defense, for example. Because one of the things I've heard, because Kobe Bryant averaged over 25 points a game for his career, and LeBron is sitting around 27.1 or something like that for his career, right? Good. So people that read stats that don't watch basketball games, that never saw really both of these guys play in their prime, they will say, well, LeBron is the better scorer because he averages more points. This is what they will say. And I responded with, you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. The reason you see Kobe's numbers in terms of his overall points per game lower than LeBron is for this very simple reason. It's not because LeBron is a better scorer than Kobe. He's not. It's not even close. It's actually nowhere near being close. If you believe that LeBron is as good a scorer as Kobe, it means I'm almost 100% certain you've never seen Kobe Bryant play in his prime. At all. At all. There's no way you would watch Kobe play a basketball game. You watch LeBron James play a basketball game in their primes and say, you know what? LeBron is a better scorer. It means you don't watch basketball. And apparently, a lot of people that don't watch basketball that read stats, they put no value on the eye test, but I do. The eye test matters to me. I'm sorry. First of all, Kobe's first few years in the NBA, he didn't play. Kobe played 71 games the first year in the NBA, and he only started 6 of them. He was averaging 15 minutes a game. The next season, he played 79 games, and that was really his real season. That's the first thing. So you have those first 2 years. Year 1, he averages 7.6 points per game. Year 2, he averages 15.4. Good. Then the last 3 years of Kobe Bryant's career, the last 4 years of Kobe's career, what happened? In the 2013-14 season, Kobe plays 6 games. In those 6 games, he averages 13.8 points per game on 29% shooting. Now, why did he do that? This is the question we got to ask ourselves. Why did Kobe Bryant average 13.8 points per game when the year before, at the age of 34, he averaged 27.3 points per game while playing 78 games? How did that happen? You help it make sense to me. Did he just fall off a cliff? How do you go from averaging 27.3 points per game at the age of 34, going on 35, and in the very next season you average 13.8? Help me understand it. What essentially happened was Kobe tore his Achilles tendon at the age of 34. The next season, he only played 6 games, and he had another setback, I think, with his shoulder. The very next season, he plays 35 games, and the number jumps to 22 points. The next season, he was now a much older player, and he averaged 17.6. So you could actually remove 5 of Kobe's seasons, the first 2 seasons, and the last 3 when he was a much older player, suffering or dealing with career-ending injuries, which LeBron has never had. Never had. So if you look at Kobe Bryant's career in 15 years, when he was allowed to play and he was healthy, you go tell me what his average was if it was 25 points a game. You go tell me. It's obviously not. And this is the reason why you can't just read stats. Stats have to have context to go with them. If they don't have a context, they make no sense. People use stats these days to make an argument without understanding that stats are used to support an argument, not make it. You're supposed to use reason and logic, and stats should aid your argument. You can't use stats without context and make it seem like, well, these stats are supposed to explain away the context. It don't work like that. There was an example of this when Jackass was on ESPN during a segment with Tracy McGrady, and he was talking about players that are more clutch than Kobe Bryant, and he had Dirk Nowitzki, more clutch than Kobe, and then he had a bench player coming off the bench that was more clutch than Tim Duncan. And Tracy McGrady was like, but wait a minute, your stats are saying that Dirk is more clutch than Kobe, but you're saying the guy that comes off the bench is more clutch than Dirk and Kobe? Help me make sense. And he couldn't explain it because he was just using stats and he wasn't using context. A guy that nobody double teams, nobody game plans for, has a higher percentage, so therefore he's a better player. That's the first part, and we haven't even started yet with this video. Now let's look at offense after I've given you guys some background to those numbers. You go do the average, and you tell me what Kobe's real averages will look like. That's the first thing. The second thing, let's look at offense. These people are looking at average scored and cumulative points. That's all they're looking at. That's all they're looking at. And by that logic, if we just use, for example, cumulative points, then you would say LeBron is a better scorer than Michael Jordan. Well, that'd be patently absurd, wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be? Kobe Bryant As a matter of fact, let's not even start with Kobe. Let's start with LeBron's offense. LeBron has a total of 73 40-point games in his career. That's a damn lot. That's a damn lot. But here's the problem. Kobe Bryant has 122 40-point games. What about 50-point games? LeBron has 14 50-point games. Kobe has 25. What about 60-point games? LeBron has one 60-point game to Kobe's 6 60-point games. What about an 80-point game? Well, Kobe had one 80-point game in regulation. In a tougher era where teams were actually allowed to play defense, and the average score of an NBA game in the 2000s was 96 points. Help me explain for the people in the back, how can a human being in a league where they average 96.9 points a game score 81 points? If LeBron was a better scorer than Kobe, why wasn't he able to do that at all? Why wasn't he able to do that? That's the first part. Let's continue forward. Let's look at Kobe's cumulative season with the most points, because y'all like to talk about the most points, right? The season where there was a season where Kobe Bryant scored 2,832 points in one season. LeBron's high is 2,251. So we're looking at scoring. And Kobe was doing this, as I said, in the 2000s, when teams were averaging 96.9 points per game, let's say 97. In the 2010s, teams were averaging 102 points per game in a season. That's what they were averaging, not what they're averaging today in the 120s. That's the first thing. Let's talk about, so I think offense, there's nothing to discuss. Absolutely not a damn thing to discuss. Nothing. Nothing to discuss. You know, there's some idiots. They'll actually say, oh, he's throwing up. Just imagine somebody threw you the Illuminati and I did this just by talking. Just imagine it. Just wanted to throw it out. I'm using my hands to talk. I'm a Christian. I don't know about you dweebs. But anyway, that's the first thing. Let's talk about defense, which LeBron fans almost rarely talk about. And whenever they do discuss it, they have some type of convoluted view on LeBron James's defense, which I don't understand, by the way. Let's get into it for a second here. Kobe Bryant made 9 all-first defensive selections. We could just stop the show right there. He made 9 all-first. He made 3 second. So for over 50% of Kobe Bryant's career, he was making all defensive teams. For over 70% of Kobe Bryant's career when he was healthy, he was making all defensive teams. In LeBron's 20 years, he's made 5 all-firsts and 6. That is all, folks. That's all. Kobe Bryant was versatile defender, because Kobe could legitimately guard 1, 2s, and 3s. Legitimately guard them. LeBron could guard 2s and 3s. Now, there's a thing that gets thrown out there, which is LeBron can guard positions 1 through 5. And it's not true. You will find no game footage where LeBron played a 4 for an entire game. You will find no game footage where LeBron guarded a 5 for an entire. LeBron can guard a position for a possession at a time. That doesn't make you a defender that can play all 5 positions. That is 2 different things. Those are 2 totally different things, for guarding a player for 1 or 2 or 3 possessions in a game and actually guarding a player for an entire game. Because if you're telling me that LeBron could play both 4s and 5s, you're essentially telling me, so hold up, let me get this right. Could LeBron guard Dwight Howard in his prime? Dwight Howard was a 5, 4 or 5. Could LeBron guard Shaq in his prime? You would have to be an idiot to say that. Could LeBron guard Kevin Garnett in his prime? Kevin Garnett would just shoot over him. Could LeBron guard Dirk Nowitzki in his prime? Well, we already saw how that went in the finals. Could LeBron guard Tim Duncan in his prime? Well, you have to be an idiot to say he could. Could he guard Akeem Olajuwon? Help me understand. Could he guard Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? These are 4s and 5s. Could he guard Patrick Ewing? So when people say this, they're just saying it. It's not based in anything real at all. You could put LeBron on a prime Amari Stoudemire and guard him? Are you serious? So that's the other part. Let me get to the other part of this argument here. Kobe Bryant is by far, this ain't even up for discussion. This ain't even up for discussion. By far, the more elite jump shooter. It's not even close. It's not even close. There are literally hours of highlight footage of Kobe just shooting jumpers. Hours of footage. He's the better free throw shooter. He's the more clutch basketball player. Kobe Bryant leads the NBA in NBA history, has the most game winners with 36. You don't believe me? Go on YouTube and Google it and you'll see all 36 of them. He has 36. Kobe has a better record against tougher competition. Do you know that? He has a better record against 50-win teams. Do y'all know that? Do you know that when Kobe was playing in the NBA, for you to even make it to the finals is like you actually went through the finals? Because when Kobe was playing, the league was dominated by Western Conference teams. And the majority of the teams winning championships all came out of the West. Somebody like, you capping. Okay, how many championships did the Lakers win in a 20-year window? 5, right? How many championships did the San Antonio Spurs win in a 20-year window? 5. How many teams were winning championships in the East? You had the Detroit Pistons with 1. You had the Boston Celtics with 1. Who's the other team? Who are the other teams? The NBA was dominated by Western Conference teams. And for Kobe to get to the finals, he literally had to run the gauntlet every single season. And that's the reason why when you saw him get to the finals against Dwight Howard and those boys, it was barbecue chicken. Because it was the easiest team he was facing, probably, compared to the teams. He was facing Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Greg Popovich, Carmelo Anthony, and all of these guys on his way to the finals. Those were the teams he was playing against. Not the sorry teams that they were. If you know anything about basketball history beyond 2015, you will know that the East was the weakest conference. Oh, and the Miami Heat, that was the other team that won. It was the weakest conference for the longest time. The East was extremely weak as a conference. Historically, the Western Conference has been extremely dominant. And I think it's important that I mention that. Now let's continue on. Kobe Bryant is a part of 1 3-peat. LeBron was the sole reason his team never 3-peated. I'll repeat once more. Kobe Bryant was a part of a 3-peat. In 2011, LeBron was the single reason that his team lost in the NBA Finals. He was the reason because they went on to win 2 more championships. Kobe Bryant has never collapsed in any series because they've all been swept. Kobe's been swept. LeBron has been swept. They've all been swept. Kobe has never had the mental collapse in any playoff series the way LeBron did. Ever. He has never collapsed to that level. Kobe Bryant has a better record in the finals. LeBron has been swept in the finals 2 times. Kobe never got swept in the finals, ever. Now, LeBron is a better rebounder. I give you that because he has more height to him, and generally that's what happens. He is a better passer. I'll give you that. In terms of their playoff record, Kobe has a 135 record to 85. LeBron has a 182 to 100. Now, hold up a second. LeBron holds a record for most playoff games with 282 games played in the playoffs. So LeBron has had all of these opportunities in the playoffs. Why does he still have less championships than Kobe? You know what happened? The excuse makers will run out here and then start dishing up excuses. Well, the reason why he didn't win is because of this. So I can easily tell you the reason why Kobe didn't win. So Kobe should have 6 champions. No, so Kobe Bryant should have 7 champions. I mean, we can all come up with excuses. We're dealing with what actually happened. Now, somebody said, well, Kobe holds the record for most missed shots, but LeBron holds the record for most losses in NBA playoffs history. Y'all know that? You guys know LeBron has lost 100 playoff games. Are you guys aware of this? Are you guys aware of this? Now, in terms of skill, I think LeBron is the much more skilled passer. Kobe's skilled, but LeBron has a gift for passing. Kobe is a more skilled defender, hence the reason he made more defensive teams. Or one could say, well, LeBron is just a skill, so why didn't that means he didn't care about defense then. Kobe is by far the more elite defender. He's, again, if you think LeBron is as skilled a scorer as Kobe, then you got to be on some serious drugs. I'm sorry. And if you're going to bring me the scoring averages, I tell you, remove the 3 years Kobe got injured in the last year of his career. In the 2 seasons he didn't play in the first year. First year, he only played 6 games. You tell me Kobe Bryant's average in those 15 seasons, and you tell me would you be over there twerking it up the way you are? Kobe Bryant was by far the more skilled player. It's not even close. If you believe that, it shows just how much of a neophyte you are in basketball. Leadership, LeBron leads in his own way. Kobe leads in his own way. But LeBron has a knack for throwing his teammates under the bus through various PR people that are connected to him, people in media. Whenever LeBron wins, it's 100% he gets all the glory. Whenever he loses, it's never his fault. And when it comes down to eye tests, this is just my opinion and my personal view, I think Kobe was by far the more entertaining basketball player to watch. By far. And the eye test matters because I watch basketball. I don't read it on a stat sheet. The eye test actually matters. I say all of this to say that I think Kobe is a little bit better than LeBron. Not better than him by a wide margin. It's one of the reasons I have LeBron in my top 5. I'm not saying LeBron is a scrub. That I'm not saying. I just believe Kobe's better. Now, the other people are going to feel otherwise. No problem. All of that withstanding, I don't think any of these guys are as good as Jordan. Because if we're here having an argument about LeBron and Kobe, it shows you that there should be no argument about Jordan. Jordan, as a Kobe Bryant fan, is the standard. Because you can't even have these silly back and forths. If you had an argument about Jordan and Kobe, the argument wouldn't go well for Kobe. Kobe could have some, but it wouldn't go well. And if you had an argument for LeBron and Jordan, it wouldn't go well at all. So these are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. And again, if you want today's full show, be sure to subscribe to the Dreamers Pro podcast that we have pinned in the comment section. You can catch it on Spotify and iTunes. Catch you guys on the next show. Peace.